So today's actually a really exciting day. We brought our clients up from Southern California to visit the home and see the stage that it's at today, as well as take a look at some of our mock-ups that we have planned for finish.
So we're back downtown at the Keating House, and this is about a 100-year-old house, and so we have a lot of challenges, but one of the big things we're trying to do in this house is to build it as a high-performance home to 2026 standards, actually beyond the standard. So some things we did here is, you'll see below me the AdvanTech sheeting. This is a premium strand board. It's resin coated. It's got a topical coating on it so that it is water resistant. A lot of problems we have with wood is obviously swelling and the edges lifting. So this gives us a really good platform to build from. Going up the wall, we worked with Partel and they created the Exoperm product you see here. This is our weather barrier. This is self-adhered. So it's typical that it's different than other weather barriers you see that are loose and just nailed on. This actually peels on, it sticks on, and it's actually permeable from the inside out. So the house can breathe, but then also not allow water and vapor in. On that wall, we go over to here, and this is a really good example of our wall assembly. So behind the rock wool insulation we have here, which I'll talk about, we have the Exoperm you can see here. So once the Exoperm goes on, the rock wool mineral insulation goes on. Rock wool is a great product. It's water resistant and super dense. You put your ear up to it, the sound goes away. So with this house, what we want to do is encapsulate it and make it like a blanket. So this house has rock wool, 2.5 inch thick insulation all the way around. One of the challenges with exterior insulation when you put it on is it builds everything out the 2.5 inches. So you can see our junction boxes, everything has to get brought out 2.5 inches. And then how do you apply your stucco to the insulation? So what we have here are wood batten strips that are drilled all the way through to the sheeting. And this creates an anchor point for our lath and paper for the stucco that's going to be going on. So this gets a 3-coat stucco system. And if you look at the entirety of the system, water can get back in, but then it hits this, it runs off, or it gets all the way behind and it hits the Partel and it runs out. So this gives us a really cool and really airtight, weather-tight system on this house. Should last another 100 years. So this was a William Keating house. Over 100 years ago, William Keating was instrumental to Sacramento for a lot of the development. This was his personal house. So this house is actually a historic home for the city of Sacramento, and we had preservation requirements we had to meet. So what I'm going to show you is a couple things. We wanted to replace the windows to meet our current energy efficiency standards, but we also wanted to keep the historic charm. So typically what you see now, a lot of vinyl windows, maybe wood windows. You don't see a lot of steel windows. So we worked with a company called Inicio to develop the window package for this house. We have steel windows on the front, which was required by preservation. Over here, we have the historic corbels. This entire porch had to get rebuilt and reframed. The city of Sacramento specifically said these corbels had to stay, and if these were damaged, we had to recreate these. So these corbels were preserved and reinstalled in their exact position, and all the new framing around it was replaced. Okay, so come upstairs and I'll show you this room. This is amazing. One of the unique features of this home, and it wowed me when I came in, is this ceiling, and it reminds me of something you'd see in a 200-year-old church. So in here we have a wood beams, wood ceiling. This is all original. We had to preserve the integrity of the ceiling while doing construction in here. We did replace some of the wood that was rotted with redwood in kind. It's going to get stained to all match. One of the challenges of building an old house and bringing it to current standards is our value in insulation. So on top of this, we have 8 inches of polyiso foam, and the entire roof has insulation on the outside. So this means this ceiling is exposed, but it's completely insulated. It never was before. So now you have the thermal efficiency of a new home, but with all the character of the old home.